It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, cheer, cheer. Loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 cheer. Loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, cheer, cheer. Loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 cheer. Loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. We do not have a lot of time for a prolonged intro today because we have a lot going on. We want to try as much as we can to knock out the line of production exercise before trying to look at all the nonsense, in my opinion, that are out there. But that's by the way, we're here to talk about Chelsea's away game against Newcastle United in the Premier League on the ground that we had lost 2 games in a row last season. But that's by the way, once again, I do hope you're all doing well and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. And before we continue, make sure to drop a like on the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And welcome to the Blue Morning Show. And yes, I am happy that I have the captain of the community already on the panel in Constantine Dungeon. My Aussie bro, if you like. He's here already on the panel with me. Dante, I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular morning. Are you looking forward to this one? Are you there? I can't hear you. I'm not sure if it is my end or your end.
Yeah, big up, coach. So,
Yeah, big up to you too, man.
yeah, big up. Yeah, looking forward to definitely. Yeah, it's a big game for us. Very early kickoff, which is a bit weird. I don't know why they put it so early, especially for us having to travel away. That's a bit silly. We don't start very good on the early games, but hopefully the second half will be okay. But that's probably the only worry. A really, really early kickoff.
All right, but hopefully it's going to be a different story today.
Hopefully they overcome that and start stronger. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But not the best planning from the Premier League, in my opinion. It's a marquee game. It's one of the top games. I mean, you're putting it that early. It's a bit weird.
I mean, they don't owe us that. I think if you see it as a disadvantage, you could argue that it's definitely the same for the opposing team. And sorry, guys, I did not remember to turn on the multi-format streaming process. Just a button, but yeah, I was in a hurry. Didn't do that. So those of you that prefer watching it on a vertical screen, apologies for that. But that's by the way. And James Nona Nona. Nona sounds like an Igbo name of specifically from Nkano. But I could be wrong, but because I've seen Kenyans with the name similar to Nkano people's name. But that's by the way. We have Mod Mana, which is our new employer here. He will take a Nightbot's job because he's much more efficient, more smart. You can do at mod manner and ask a question in a bit. You get an answer as long as it's football related and specifically Chelsea related. You get an answer as soon as possible. But we're turning it down
Nice.
because we tried it the other day and smoked all our the quota we're allowed to connect to the smart Google Gemini that we're using
This
as
is
a brain.
the new bot coach.
Sorry, we're trying to hire new bots.
This is the new bot around now.
Mod manner, yeah. So working on it. We're using the app engine that we used for the one you see on the screen, the one we use for our web app. So I saw that. I could use it to just build something that's gonna be smarter than Nightbot, and it's proven to be smarter. But the issue is that it smokes the quota quickly, and Google cuts it off. But we'll find a solution. And boom, James Nona is here. You see how smart it is? It doesn't look like one. It doesn't use one specific. It doesn't say the same thing to the same people. It has hundreds of variations of how to say hello to people. So that makes it more human. It can actually banter too. If it senses that someone that's in the chat is an Arsenal fan, but it's not quite efficient yet. But we're getting there. But that's by the way, Jay. Nice to see you there. I do hope you're doing well. But without wasting much of your time, as promised, we're gonna get into the lineup prediction exercise so we can knock it out as soon as possible and start discussing all the items that we have here. And once again, apologies to those of you who prefer watching the show in a vertical, or if you prefer portrait format. I forgot to turn it on. But that's by the way. Let's see, Dante. Let's get into it. Between the sticks, I've taken care of that. Robert Sanchez, definitely. Sorry, guys, my system is a bit slow this morning, and I'm not sure why that is the case. Left back, I think that's where I am right now. Yep. Kukurea right back. I'd say I think we're going to see Malo Gusto there. Two center backs. We're going to see who usually stays on the left, but I'm quite sure we're going to see Trevor Chalobah and Wesley Fofana, both of whom are well rested, in my opinion. Let's see.
Yep.
Wesley Fofana. No! All right, there you go. Back four. Let's hear you. You've seen my selection. What do you make of it?
Yeah, strongest coach. Yeah, he's got to put his strongest team out today. So yeah, even the midfield he can probably do. It's maybe the wingers that may be there, but even there, yeah, it'll be probably only one change. So yeah, that's exactly spot on. Yeah.
All right, Jay, let's hear you pick the 2-6s. If I disagree, I'll let you know. But I think the back four, do you agree, Jay, or do you disagree? Bobby, do you agree or do you disagree? We're trying to knock out the lineup before the official lineup comes out because it'd be useless if we're still on it and the official lineup comes out. Big up to you too.
Bobby. Smart move.
Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right.
Coach,
Jay, your
sorry,
thoughts on the back four?
just with the back four, coach. Sorry, I think there might be a change there because obviously Caicedo's back. So you might see Reece starting at that right back position, inverting into midfield. I think you might see that because otherwise,
How about the fact that Enzo Fernandez is now being fully fit?
No, he'll play, coach. He got rested. He's playing. You know how important he is. He's always on the team sheet. He's in our strongest 11 always.
Yeah.
True.
So
I
you
just don't
guys
see
saying
a
we
game
should
without
change the
Enzo
right back
Fernandez.
to James?
I think that could be the only one, James. Yeah, and then of course he inverts into midfield if he needs to. If he's not, he might stay a bit back more. Or Cucurella will push forward. It just depends what's set up, but that gives a bit of freedom as well for Maresca to
All
decide
right.
in game what to do exactly. So
We will
I
find
just
out in
don't
a
see a
few
midfield
minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
with Caicedo back in there with no
Oh,
Enzo Fernandez and Palmer in that triangle. I don't see. So that means Gusto or James, one of those, most likely will miss out one of those, and I don't think he'll be our captain. So
Do you know, I'm
yeah.
beginning to wonder. That right back position, James may find himself. By the way, I agree with what Dante said, but you might find that James is played less and less there because the speed aspect of things, post his injury and recovery, I don't know if anybody has noticed that he's not as quick as he used to be. That doesn't mean to say he's not quick, but he's not as quick as he used to be. And Newcastle have some very quick wingers, so it could be Gusto starting, but it could be James. But if he inverts into midfield, that's why you find that often we have that huge space in the right back position because James is not there. So I don't know if he'll risk that. It's going to be very interesting to see what he does.
All right.
yeah,
Anybody
exactly.
else has anything else to add?
Pick up, guys.
Big up to you too, Jay.
Yeah, big up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with this lineup. Slight change could be Reece in midfield because Maresca was mentioning that he was praising the Newcastle midfield and it's going to be a physical midfield, so you'll want the protection of James and Caicedo in that midfield. And it could be something similar to what we saw against PSG, but it's a pure guess.
Yeah.
The only thing that concerns me yet again, I know you're always going to say Bobby and physicality, but it does matter a lot. And Newcastle have a tremendous amount of height.
mhm. Yeah.
Voltamade, their centre backs, and indeed even their midfielders have a couple of tall guys. So I don't know what we will do to compensate for that, but we've got to really, if we play like we did against Arsenal, we'll have some joy today. If we slack, it's going to be a problem.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think the lineup will be out in a few minutes. So let's say you the two sixes there, Dante. So both
Caicedo, obviously,
those
and
people that own it, you could argue.
yeah, the starting centre midfielders, our
Mm,
starting strongest
yeah.
11. They're the starting, midfielders basically. So
So these two here. So let's keep going, Dante. Then Bobby and Jay can come on and answer. Kopama here. We're going by the starting structure,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. On the right hand side, definitely who?
So, I
Where
mean,
where do you think Pedro Neto goes? On the
I
left hand
think
side
Pedro
or on the
Neto,
right?
yeah, has to be Neto, really.
Right hand side, and I think
Yes,
Garnacho
right.
starts. Yeah. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, there you go. Garnacho, he changes his. It looks like a ghost. Jesus.
Wrong side, coach.
Oh, you're on the other side, right? Yeah. Correct. I just wanted us. I'm trying for us to knock it out before the official lineup comes out. Yeah, because it will in a bit. On the left hand side, Alejandro Garnacho. Where is he? I think this needs some more work. It lags a bit.
No, it's
Pedro
fine.
Neto. Maybe it's my system because my server is running at the same time, and I can't shut it off for reasons I don't want to say here. Where is it?
Up top, up top.
There
The
should be
starter
a
is always up
touch.
top.
No,
Keep
I'm
going up
looking
top.
for him in the lineup.
Left.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Okay, here, João Pedro. All right,
Yep.
Jay. Let's hear you. You've seen the 11 we selected here. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, obviously, as I mentioned, that mine will be a little different, which I think it will be the one that he played against PSG. I think Gusto will start at right back. James will automatically go to the midfield, and we will see Palmer on the right and Enzo as a 10. And Garnacho will miss this match, and Neto will be placed on the left hand side. And rest is the same.
For the 11 that played against PSG, the difference is Garnacho and Chalobah, right?
Yeah, Colville, Chalobah in place of Colville, and Garnacho is not going to play. Neto
No,
will
no,
play on the left as he.
I'm saying that the lineup against PSG, the difference is Garnacho and Chalobah with Neto on the left hand side, and who was on the right hand side? Palma. I can't
Yeah,
forget. I can't remember the placement, but go ahead. What you're saying?
yeah. Neto on the left, Palma on the right, and Enzo in the 10. That's what I think should be the team today as well.
Yeah, that makes a strong midfield, but I'm not sure if you'll put Palmer out wide as a winger because James is not going to overlap. So I don't think he's going to put him as a winger coming back with the injury he's got, and yeah, I don't know if there's going to be not much cover there. So I doubt he'll put him as a winger. I wouldn't mind that if he's at full force, but now I don't know if that's the right decision to move him wide now.
Bobby, what do you think? I'm not sure what's going to happen, really. I've learned sometimes just to give it a rest and wait until I see the official lineup. I will see that in a few minutes, actually, like in 2 minutes. But Bobby, let's hear your thoughts. Did we lose Bobby? It looks like he's struggling with his connection. Let's see what else we have here. Can we break the curse today? I think we can. Maya the rapper, thank you once again for finding the time to repost the stream. Sincerely do appreciate that. And Modmana, Modmana is at work, saying hello to everybody. Variations of greetings, and that's nice to see. But let's see how long it lasts. He was knocked off the air yesterday because he smoked the quarter, but we put some guardrails in place to make sure he doesn't smoke the quarter. I like variations there, but that's, by the way, big up Jay in the chat, big up guys, Coachila, and everyone in the chat. Olunwa, Rocky, Tony Dyer, my bro, nice to see you. Mabas says big up Coachila, good morning, and big up Dante. And once again, I hope you had a good birthday yesterday. Hopefully, Chelsea can smash Newcastle United away and take the revenge after what happened last season when Jackson got himself sent off. I think they will start the game. Newcastle will start the game the way they did last season because he settled us a bit. I don't know. It wouldn't make sense if they tried to start the game differently today. It just wouldn't. I think it worked for them on that day. It led to our goalkeeper getting sent off. Then we started, on the chasing the game. They would do the same thing. Let's see. Okay, what does it say here? Okay, but this is wrong information. The brain needs to be updated. And look at it, add an init to it. Okay, let's see. But big up to everyone in the chat. If I miss your name, apologies. Bobby, when you're ready to speak, we'll want to hear from you. What do you make of the 11 we selected? Do you like it? A scale of 1 to 10. It's
Let me
nice.
just say
my
happy birthday to Mabast. Happy birthday, buddy.
My boss, Bobby, Dante saying happy birthday because he wasn't
Hopefully you
here.
got a year
yesterday.
smarter and wiser.
Yep.
happy birthday. Yeah, gosh, yeah, absolutely. My bad. Sorry, I was hearing my name from a distance. I had
No, I
to.
was asking you, what do you make of the final selection there?
What we got? Help my eyes. What we got? Midfield. Who did you put? The usual. Enzo and his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And the
His
attack.
brother, indeed.
And the attack. Who have you got left on the left?
Garnacho.
Good. And down the middle is going to be Palmer, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
On the right, Neto, and up top. Yeah, we don't have a choice. That's our current best 11. So what can you say? I don't really fancy Garnacho. I've made no bones about that.
You still haven't? No worries. That's fine.
No, it's too. I don't know. I wish we could do something else. I know we're not going to, but I wish we could. What is Tyreek? Well, maybe George. I still think he's a better player.
Okay.
But
You rate George over Garnacho, Bobby?
I do.
Okay, that's fine. That's
but
you. Go ahead.
Maresca is not going to do that. So yeah, I have
Well,
to
what Jay
put
said,
line.
Bobby, Neto could go to the left and Palmer to play on the right, and Enzo could go in the middle, and that you can then put James as one of the DMs and Gusto at right back.
Yeah, yeah.
Possibly. I think we
I
might see
fancy that.
Gusto in this game because yeah, after this game we have a few days to rest a lot of our players even more. Then
Yeah,
again, then we start seeing the games coming in thick and fast again every 3 days.
over the Christmas period.
Again, yeah. Go ahead.
But that would be good. But the problem is, how fit is Cole Palmer? It's another
He's
thing.
played 260 minutes, right? Or one less than the second one. He played 16 minutes. I think probably he'd be fitter than he was the last term. Yeah, but still a good question. The question is, how fit is he? Yeah, I agree.
Well, I don't see Maresca starting any other way other than this that's on the board there. I wish he could, but I don't see any other way. And the only thing to expect from Newcastle is a lot of aggression, a lot of fast pace, a lot of height usage. It's going to be a tough game, and we've got to match that with aggression. It's going to be interesting to see if we do.
Mhm. And the Y's, a T1Y says Kopama will be important. Of course, he will be. And he says, "Oh, I didn't know. Belated birthday wishes, my boss." Okay, just saying, you won here. So yeah. Let's see what else do we have. Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes that do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And Dante
Mabas
was the
has the
Bluetooth.
same birthday
Go
as
ahead, Bobby.
Wesley. Said Mabas has the same birthday as Wesley Fofana. Isn't
Oh
it
yeah. Oh,
today?
is that really? Was it for finance yesterday? I think for finance was the day before.
Day
Oh,
before, I think.
oh,
Yeah,
right. Okay, that's the.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay. Let's see. Good morning to you too, Chelsea Ultra. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Let's see what else we have here. Anybody else? The Real Gem. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you all. So we're gonna go news hunting. We can just start talking about it. We don't need to look at what's out there. It's depressing, but not depressing to me. But it's driving a lot of people nuts. But before we even do that, I think right now probably the official lineup will be out. Uh, Dante, what do we need to do to win this one?
Well, we need to score first, coach. Not concede.
More importantly,
Yeah, look, midfield battle is pretty important in this one. They've got their Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, and the other guy. What's his name? So they've got three, pretty physical. They like to get forward as well. Those midfields. So usually for Newcastle, that's sort of the area that they're really good at, and that's where if that midfield's on form and on fire and they do the right things, usually Newcastle's good. If not, like we've seen, very inconsistent. Yeah, they do tend to struggle as well. So it just depends, how our midfield. I mean, look, Moises Caicedo, no problem. We know he's defensive. Enzo Fernandez, obviously, more offensive than defensive, but can obviously cover up the zones as well pretty well. If James inverts into there, well, then that's fine, no problem. I mean, you're gonna have physicality with James there as well. So it's a good balance, two more physical players, and then we've got the more passing player as well that controls and dictates. So it's not too bad. It's a good. It works really well, and we didn't. I mean, last season we got sent off. Jackson got sent off. We were doing really well, and then Jackson got sent off, and so we didn't get to see, the rest, how we, how that game would have turned out, if we had our full team. So yeah, look, last season it wasn't bad. It was looking good till Jackson got sent off, like I said. So we don't really know. We don't usually do well there. Previous teams have not done well there. But like I said, with James, Caicedo there, these couple of players now in that midfield, yeah, it's a bit different. We're much tougher in that midfield area. So we'll wait and see. But I think that's where the game will be won, that midfield area.
Yeah, I agree. Your thoughts, Jay? How, Bob? Okay, Jay has left the panel. Bobby, I think I guess I already know what what you're gonna say. Bobby, how do we need to apply ourselves on the day to get a good result from this one? And yes, people keep
Yeah,
dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do
I've
go a long way. Yes, let's hear you.
I've said we've got to play like we did against Arsenal. We've got to be aggressive, and we've got to move the ball quickly. They will try and move the ball quickly already, but I think player for player, we have better tacticians. They are certainly more aggressive. They have more physicality, but we have better tacticians. And if we can let our tactical game be dominant, we could cause them a lot of problems. But we've got to be up for the fight. There's just no escaping that reality. We have to fight for the right to play today, for sure. Like any time you go to St James's Park, you have to win that fight. Last season was not as bad as a lot of people thought. Largely, we were winning the fight. We
Even
started
with
off
a
in a
man down.
Yeah, we started off in a sloppy way. They got a goal ahead. Then we started coming back into it. Then Jackson came on and got sent off. But even then, their second goal was just a bit of a worldie. So there's not much anybody could do about that. But we were not second best in that game. We matched them physically. So if we can put in that performance from the beginning, we could have some joy today. We really could. And another thing he needs to do is to be flexible. Their centre backs are very physical and very big, and I think some from time to time switch it around, bring Neto into that position, get Palmer to the right, and drop João Pedro into the Palmer position in game. His in game management and flexibility is also going to be very key. So yeah, that's it. It's going to be an interesting day. It really is. I'm curious to see how we take this one. Midfield, you've said, is as rightly is another battle. But we should be able to overload in that position and overwhelm them.
And Guimaraes is very experienced.
Gimerez, yeah, they have good players. There's no doubt about it. But I think on our day we have better players, and we have to make that show. It's that simple.
Yeah, I agree. Dante, would you say last season you could say they have a couple of players out today? Are they stronger this season than they were last season? I'd say they're weaker this season. And I'm not gonna go to the extent of saying it, but and that's of a concern to me because yeah, I'm usually concerned when we play weaker side. But in their case, I don't think it'd be correct to say that they're weaker side. But the top, you could say top six side. Um, okay, where are we getting high from? It's okay.
Okay,
It's okay. Hi to you
that's
too. Whoever said hi, hi to you too. Much love
did
from
you
us
hear
at
that?
Chelsea's perspective.
I think from Bobby. Bobby, was that
Yeah,
you?
from Bobby's end. Yeah. So Dante, would you say
That's
they're weaker this season
that's
or
my
stronger?
baby
I'd say
son.
weaker. Hi,
No,
hi
I.
to you too. Hi, hi.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Yeah, hello indeed. Go ahead, Dante.
Uh, it's hard to say. I mean, like I said, they've been a bit on and off. They had the derby last game and they lost to Sunderland, which was surprising. And they only managed to have like 4 shots all game, so that was a bit weird. And they didn't have that much possession. It was pretty much 50-50 if I remember right. So yeah, look, they haven't had the best results. 2-2 before that, and then Tottenham as well. So they've been a bit in a slump, but you know, like I said, they're one of those teams that they're going to do that, and then they're going to next week they're going to have a massive result and really overrun someone and have a big win. So they're a bit all over the place, to be honest. I think they're probably better than now, because I think they're a bit disjointed at the moment. Not saying they don't have quality, but they're just a little bit seen from the results and how the way they've been playing, a bit disjointed, managing all the competitions and um, really not adding
What to
too
me
much
more
to that
importantly,
side.
I think it'd be accurate to say he's not been able to measure the sort of output they got from Isaac. Not even close.
Exactly. Look, Walterman's done well, but that's really the only real replacement, him and Elanga. And Elanga's been pretty much a flop from what I've seen people saying. So I haven't watched Newcastle, but when I have seen him and stats, he hasn't been good from what I heard from the Newcastle fans. So they haven't really added too much to that core because they really couldn't too much because obviously they have some PSR
Financial
issues. So
restrictions.
yeah, they couldn't add too much. So basically, two players, like you said, a few injuries. They've been a bit disjointed. Yeah, it's hard. It's one of those teams. Like I said, they look really bad one week, and the next week they look like world beaters, like all of them world class and world beaters. And yeah, hopefully that's not today. Hopefully they continue that bad form, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. They're very unpredictable. That's what I'm pretty much trying to get to. You
Very,
just
yeah,
don't know with them.
against the big boys, they usually you say put up a lot of good fight.
Yeah, yes and no. Yes, I mean, Newcastle. Sorry, Arsenal beat them. Who Brighton beat them. Uh, who else? They beat. Oh, they beat. No, that was a cup game. They they beat Man City. That's one team they beat. Yep, they beat Man City 2-1. So that was probably one of their scalps. But that was when Man City was pretty struggling a little bit. They've turned it around now. So yeah, look, I mean, they really haven't beaten only Man City, to be honest. No one really. They drew with Tottenham, and we know Tottenham not really the best. So um, yeah, they got past Burnley the week before. I remember, but Burnley had a red card, so that's why they just got past that. They just scraped past that, with Burnley having a red card as well. So, like I said, they haven't been in good, and then lost to Sunderland, so they haven't been very good. But yeah, hopefully they don't turn it around today.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. I'd rather James and Gusto start this match in a normal big game fixtures formation with Palmer and Garnacho on the flanks, and then Neto come on as a super sub. I think Neto starts this game, irrespective of what changes we see on the day. Anything else? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes will go a long way. It looks like Lewis Hall is ready to start for Newcastle United. And yeah, he was. I think the last time out, he was excellent against us. The two former Chelsea kids. I see Santos starting this game, and who drop in for him? We'll see. He might. My feelings is going into this game is just here and there, but hopefully we'll do the unbelievable this time. I think beating them wouldn't be unbelievable. Head to head with a much better side in terms of a record, and I think being the better side for decades now. But yeah, they've you say they have the money to sign. They've been able to sign some good players, which makes a lot of difference. You could say it'd be accurate to say they're one of the top six sides in the Premier League right now, even though they're still struggling. I think had they not been for financial restrictions, I think they'd have some of the best squads in the in the world football. But yeah, let's see what else we have here. Anything else to talk about here? Okay, all the panelists, including me, have kids roaming around. Not a bad thing, really, and that makes it truly, indeed, a family. Should I say family friendly? Yeah, China. Yeah, all of us we do have kids. A good thing. Not all of us, but yeah, but at least you could say that um, nearly all of us. Georgina started for
I have
birthday.
big
Jeremy.
ones and little ones.
Yeah, yeah. You have.
Seriously. I
You
have
have.
big ones and little ones.
Wow. It's not easy. All a blessing, honestly. Yeah. And we're glad we're happy with at least they got a chance to sneak in and said hello today. And Bobby tried to stop it, but it still happened.
Yeah.
But that's by the way. Happy birthday to them. I'm not gonna try to use the bells and whistles like run the balloons and the fireworks. My server is on, and if I do that, it would drain the life out of my system and could freeze the screen. Anything else? Hansi Flick high line, which is why we will struggle a little bit in the Premier League. Yeah, and I think one Hansi Flick to get the yeah, this one finally. Enzo and I again. Enzo, finally, no Enzo, and I am right, James and Gusto. And I did talk about, did I not say something to the effect of him getting dropped because he's looked very, very tired? Did I not say that, Dante?
Well, if
You
you
did,
didn't,
yes.
you should, because it's
Sorry?
true. I said if you didn't, you should, because it's true.
Yeah.
You
But
did, yes.
yeah, he's dropped now. I suspected
We
that
can
could
say that
happen
about
not because
Cucurella
he's
as
a bad
well and other
player, but
players.
because
But yeah, look,
he's looked like the most used of all the players. And he's played the most minutes too, right? Yeah.
he's played the most minutes. Yeah, him and
Yeah. But
Cucurella.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Him and Cucurella were the two that played the most minutes. So, look, I mean, he had a bit of a break, so he shouldn't be. But I think maybe Maresca's just gone for that extra, like we were saying, maybe that extra player in midfield just to, solidify that area a bit more. Because that's, like I said, that's where Newcastle usually win it. So, yeah, either way is fine. That's good. It doesn't matter if he's dropped. That'll
I
lit a
mean,
bit
when
more
we say
fire
dropped,
for him
he's on the
for next
bench,
game.
isn't he? He's
Sorry?
on the when you say dropped, he's on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but
he's not
still,
dropped. I
that's
mean,
still
that's
the
the wrong
manager
word.
dropping him. He's one of
He's
the
getting
manager's
rotated.
trusted players, so it only makes sense that he still has him have him on the bench in case if he needs to change things because yeah, he's different. We don't have anybody that's similar to him. That's why he's played this
Yes.
much minutes and not getting rest.
So we've gone a little bit more defensive with this lineup. So that's obviously Maresca. We know he did that last season against some of the better teams away from home, especially. So yeah, he's obviously maybe seen in training that Enzo's not up to scratch. Maybe he's got a little problem, or yeah, just tactical. Most likely, just tactical.
Yeah, and it could be tactical. It could be the fact that yeah, he's looked like the most used of all the players who were complaining about now looking tired. He's looked like the most tired of them. I think he makes sense. I suspected that was going to happen, but yeah, when you don't speak up, you don't get what you want. But yeah, but I did say something to the effect of yeah, there's a chance he gets dropped. But that's by the way, Jay.
You
You're
did,
back on the panel. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I don't particularly think that he's gone defensive. I think it's equally attacking or more attacking because as I predicted the lineup, I think he has prioritized Garnacho over Enzo in a sense because if Enzo was dropped, then sorry, if Enzo would have started, then it would have been the same lineup that we saw against PSG. And in case he would have played in the 10, Palmer would have shifted to the right and Neto to the left. So it's basically Garnacho preferred over Neto. And I think that's kind of attacking as well. And I can clearly understand. I think it's a wise decision to drop Enzo, not because he's a bad player. I think there is clear fatigue building up for him, and the big reason could be that it's going to be a very physical game, and Enzo physically not poor, but I think slightly the other ones are more physical, and I think overall this team is going to give a fight at least physically and it's also attacking. So I'm pretty happy with this decision. I think that it's a gutsy decision, but a good one and wise one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
I would say a
physical
good
as
one.
you're probably talking about running, not physicality. You mean more running. Gusto is much more running, can get around, cover spaces.
Running as well and height. Enzo is not that, at all.
Gusto is the same height as Enzo, basically. There's no difference there. Enzo is much stronger than Gusto is, as in physicality. He's much stronger than Gusto. Gusto
But
is not
Dante,
strong
as
in
I
that way.
said, I don't see Gusto and Enzo as the two players. I more see Garnacho and Enzo are the two, the one who would kind of shift and change. So I think even if Gusto started, I think Enzo could have still started. It's just that he wants Garnacho to start, which is also good because he's in form. You
But
should
that is a
want
bit more
your
defensive, though, Jay, because our midfield is more defensive because Gusto doesn't go too far up or attacks too much. He stays and he's there to do defensive jobs, not offensive jobs mostly. So
yeah, we can
he
say I
might,
think centrally, yeah, you
yeah,
are right. It's more defensive centrally.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Hopefully it works.
Yeah. So, anything else about the lineup we want to talk about? I'm just trying to wait I've refreshed it whether this reflects the car. It's still saying predicted lineup, but if Enzo isn't there, then it's reflecting the accurate or official lineup. They haven't updated it yet. Not a bad 11. Who in place of Enzo? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Well, James is the one in place of Enzo.
Oh, okay. So Gusto
Gusto
accommodated
right
and
back.
James. Yeah, there you go. It has reflected right now.
Yeah, and we said that could be one. That's one solution that he can go for. So that's one of the options he goes to. I mean, yeah, Gusto is very important in big games as well.
So we see the usual thing happening, right? Palmer might play 60 minutes in this one also,
I
right?
think
And
so.
Enzo might replace him.
Exactly right, Jay. I think that'll be the plan. Palmer minute restriction probably 60, and then Enzo would probably come on for him. Most likely, yeah, that's exactly right. Well, it
Right.
depends how the game is. If we're like 2-3 nil up, maybe you might see Andre Santos come on then.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, this is you could argue arguably our strongest 11, except for the absence of Enzo Fernandez. Because yeah, if he's on the pitch, we're even stronger, irrespective of how anybody sees it. In my opinion.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like Jay said earlier, probably strongest would be Neto on the left and Palmer on the right, and then Enzo in that 10 that can go into midfield. I think that's very strong as well. But like I said, Palmer is not. I don't think he'll be ready to play on the wings yet. With that injury and coming back from injury, he wouldn't be on the wings, no. So this is very strong as well, definitely. But I think our probably strongest would be probably what we've seen in the past. That was our strongest, basically. Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second here.
And this is only going to help Enzo as well. I think he needed rest and he's getting ample now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the temptation probably was there for the manager just to start him, given the fact that he'd have a few days to rest up and be ready for the next round of fixtures. But
Well, he's got to
rest
be
him
ready
now.
for this one, coach, because he'll come on.
Yeah.
Like Jay said, he's going to come on. Could be half time, but most likely 60 minutes there. Like, I don't see Palmer playing more than max 70, but I think he'll be that 60 like he had before the last couple of games. So he's going to be ready because he's coming on. He'll definitely be playing. So he's still got to come on. At least he comes on when, the rest are a little bit tired. So at least he's a bit more fresh that way. And he can, even if he comes on, we're leading, then he can dictate the passing and keep possession. If we're losing, well, obviously more box scratching and more attacking. So either way, he works really for Palmer.
Let me
Do
be
you,
more.
gu-
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
do you guys think this is like Garnacho's brace against Cardiff has factored in, or is it irrespective of that?
It's hard to tell. I mean, yeah, like I said, Newcastle midfield is key. So I think Maresca's looking at that as well, and he would rather have you know, Gusto in there as well when we're going forward. Basically, a free central area I'm talking about. So it covers also any counter attack, which Newcastle are very good at with their wide
Yeah.
players and even from their middle players because they run a lot as well. They're all power runners. They like to run and go through the middle as well and then go out wide. So yeah, I think he's gone a little bit more safe with this option, a little bit more defensive structure, and to
Yeah,
combat their
there's
midfield.
also an interesting debate about Neto. Do you guys really think that his performance or output or some kind of, I don't know, overall performance changes when he's on the right or the left? Because he's
Yes,
equally good on the left as well, but that must be something, right? He's naturally
yes.
right.
He can't cross with his left foot, Jay.
I think
So
He's
he
not
gets
very good
more
with his
goals when
left
he's
foot.
on the right hand side, right?
yeah, but he
The
put a
only way he can
brilliant
cross with his
performance
left foot if
whenever
there's
he's
no one
placed
around
on the
him.
left as well.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but if you pay attention when he plays on the left, if he's got a man to dribble or get past, at speed he won't be able to cross it on his left foot. He has to have time and stop the ball or turn back and then cross it on his left foot if he needs to. But it's always pretty much the right. So every time I've seen him,
Mm,
he's struggled to create from the left, whereas from the right
yeah.
he actually creates and scores. But he creates a lot more from the right hand side because he's right footed. So it really helps him get those balls in, cross the ball, and more confident as taking his men on as well on the outside to get around the outside speed wise. If he doesn't do that on the left because he doesn't trust his left once he puts that afterburners on and then to get across in with a man on him at full speed, he doesn't trust his left. I think there was a stat I remember on X. I might have to look for. I think it was nearly 90% of the time he turns back and then goes on his right and then will cross it in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's also predictable for the opponent. They can very easily disarm any attack
Exactly,
if.
correct. Yes. Yep. A bit like Noni was for us on the right hand side.
Go ahead, guys. I'm trying to take care of something here, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, but I think he offers a lot defensively on the left. I
Oh
won't
yeah,
say
yeah.
much, but I think equally he's good defensively, and that's a big reason why Maresca still plays him on the left whenever he wants to adjust Palmer or Estevao on the right.
Yeah, rarely now. We haven't seen him on the left really because obviously the other two, been trying. But since Garnacho started playing better, and then Gittens was better, now he's bad, and now Garnacho is really good again. So until they get it right there, you might see him. But I think that left is
Yeah,
a bit more. Garnacho's got that left for now. And yes, Garnacho could come off, and then he goes to the left, and Estevao comes on the right. Like when they do the subs as well, that can happen as well. Yeah.
yeah. I totally forget that in the past that left hand, the left wing area was actually quite poor or vulnerable, and hence Maresca might be forced to play Neto. It's not that his choice, but now that Garnacho is performing, I think it vanishes any chance of Neto going to the left.
Because they're actually quite similar in attacking wise. They're more they use their speed and their running. They're not the most technical, like full on skillful, like Jamie
Yeah,
Gittens
yeah,
with the ball speed or Estevao. They're more
exactly.
power runners. They run hard. They're really fast. They get in good areas. They're good goal. They put good balls across the box. They set up quite a lot
Yeah,
as well. So
pairing wise, I understand. Estevao and Gittins a little bit much similar, and Neto and Garnacho the other ones.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I sorry guys. At the same time, I'm running a test to see how the AI responds to the question in the chat. Yeah, on occasions that I've tried it today, just throws whatever that comes to its mind. So we're trying to get it to use its brain. At the same time, yeah, we have a show. I'm trying to get something to start working properly. But that's by the way, Dante. I wanted to ask this question. In the absence of maybe you've talked about something similar, and because I wasn't paying attention, then catch it. In the absence of Enzo Fernandez, how much does that affect the way we play, especially under Enzo Maresca? And you could say he's been one of Maresca's most important players. In his absence, what changes for us, and how much of an impact does that have on the way we play?
Well, first of all, yeah, he controls most games. He gets in the pockets where Maresca wants him to receive balls, and the long switches to left, to right, or through balls. You're not going to see that much in this game because Gusto will invert in there as well, but you're not going to see Caicedo and Gusto don't really do those. Caicedo sometimes, James can do it, but you still don't see them do it too much, to be honest. So I don't think we'll have as much possession either till he's not on the field. I think our possession will be a little bit lower because of that. So, look, we are set up in a way where we can also counterattack very well with this lineup as well. So it's not a problem. We give him a bit more possession because we're quite lethal the other way with the players we have, attacking wise. So, but yeah, actually controlling the game and switching play and getting in those pockets. Gusto's good, but the problem with Gusto, he never stops. He moves like he's all over the place. So he's quite erratic in his the way he plays. So we're
Is
not going to
it
have that
down
control.
to, you could say, the way he applies himself, or you could say the way the manager wants him to play? I'd say down to the way the manager wants him to play. That's why he's everywhere, popping up,
It's
completing
just
the
his style to
triangles.
actually,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, because he's not as comfortable as Enzo on the ball, technically gifted as Denzo on the ball. So he likes to get rid of the ball very quickly. He doesn't keep the ball. So he usually goes to the quick, safe option, left, right, mostly back. If you see most of the time, very rarely you'll see him, do a forward pass. It's not often at all. If you look at his statistics, he's in the lowest percentile for doing that. So he's there to break up that midfield if they're going to counter attack, or when we counter attack as well at speed, because you can do that with Gusto, like we saw against PSG, etc. You can attack at speed with him. He can be okay sometimes going forward, but most of his game is that more breaking up the play, closing down zones. So when they attack, they've got no way through, not an easy way through, basically. So he's definitely more of a defensive type player, and that's what Maresca uses him for. Close down the pockets and the spaces where opposition would attack. Then, because he's got the running power, he can do it every now and then, but that's very few and far between where he does the attacking phase of the play. Because, like I said, he's not comfortable doing that. He's slowly started to add a bit more to that part of the game, but it's still a slow progression with him in that. You'll see him always getting rid of the ball very quickly.
I'd rather him get rid of the ball quickly than risk, you could say, losing the ball in key areas. But that's,
Yeah,
by
but
the
that's
way,
the
Jay,
difference.
let's.
Enzo will
Yeah.
receive the ball, and he'll already know what to do with that ball. Already, he knows the next move he's doing with that ball. Doesn't even have to look most of the times. Gusto receives that ball. First thing is safe option back sideways. That stifles your movement a little bit, right? And Caicedo is very similar to that as well. That's his game as well. So this will stifle our ball movement a little bit, but look, we still have enough. But I'm just saying, compared to, because he told me him and Enzo, what's the difference? Well, that's the difference. We'll attack every now and then, but nowhere as much as if we had Enzo on that field, because he pushes up a lot more into that 10 and that attacking phase, and combines well with his players and Palmer very well. So Gusto is safe. He's very safe. We saw that nice pass he put through for the assist for Palmer a couple of weeks ago, last week. Yeah, that's a very rare sight for Gusto. That was one very rare sight. A good sign that he did it, but you don't see him doing that throughout
But in
games.
all honesty, he's improved in terms of fulfilling that unique role of his, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he doesn't play it like Enzo, because he doesn't go that high up. He doesn't go up. Enzo goes high up there and stays and then comes back with the ball, but he's more concentrated on the opposition, if you know what I mean, defensive duty than offensive duty. He's more concentrated on that than actually going forward. So when your mind's like that, that's the type of player he is. That's why Maresca uses him for a lot of these games. Well, you're going to be more defensive, your mind. But like you said, it's good to see slowly, a little bit of improvement. He's getting better and better at it. Hopefully, he just, he gets a lot better at it. But he's still young. He's still learning. People forget he's only 21. So
And he's become one of Maresca's most important players.
yeah, he's a very important for that reason against bigger teams, especially because his running power, one, and his defensive duties, probably two. Offensive it's definitely third, probably fourth after passing. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And Jay, your thoughts in the absence of Enzo Fernandez? How do you think that the absence of Enzo Fernandez? How do you think that affects our application on the pitch, or you could say how we play, or what changes for us?
I would agree with Dante. I think the attacking aspect of the game will be limited or not, to the level if we had Enzo in the team. And I also think that whenever we're getting those byline crosses, I think we have to, or other players have to take the responsibility of, being available at the post, or running into the box and making those runs into the box, so we can have the opportunity to score the goals. I think that is one thing that Enzo does really well, and at the same time, I think other players lack that thing a lot. And because Enzo fulfills it completely, so I think it's important that some other guys fulfill it whenever we get the chances, and the chances will be limited, obviously, because Enzo is not there to progress the passes, because Gusto will be doing, his regular running here and there, and most of his passes will be, I think, sideways, or his main job is running and making space for others and giving opportunities to take away some of the defenders from other players. So yeah, definitely we'll miss Enzo, but overall, I think physicality-wise, as I discussed, it won't be that big of a miss, and I think the chemistry is there with the team. I think Gusto has very well equipped himself with other players So there is a chemistry building up. He's involved. Yes, we are talking about Enzo, providing those attacking threat, but let's not forget that Gusto is also adding assists and goals to his game. So equally, we will have opportunities with him in the team.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we have Carlito in the chat here. He's celebrating the absence of Enzo Fernandez. But here's the thing, he wasn't benched because he's a bad player. He's benched because he's tired, and you know that. But yeah, you called it. You believed he was going to bench. But yeah, you haven't actually built a rocket. But
Why
you
doesn't
can.
he
Nice to see.
prefer
Always nice to see you, Carlito.
players?
I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. I know you don't like the guy. I know you don't like Trevor Chalobah, but yeah, that's by the way. Always nice to see you, my friend. I do hope you're doing well. Yeah, Dante, let's look at their midfielders. Ramsey, Tonali, and Gutierrez. These are, you can say at least Tonali and Gutierrez are more experienced than the midfielders we have, except for James, if James plays in the midfield. But here's the thing. I want to say this. They're more. You can say they have a much more experienced midfielders than us. But I think we have. You could say it'd be accurate to say we have a better midfield. But how do we compare, Dante? Who do you think wins the midfield battle?
Yeah, well, look, so Ramsey is the other one that actually did come in. He's not been doing too well. He's one that's been struggling in that role. He hasn't been as good. He was. I saw some Newcastle talking about it, and that they pointed out, he's not. He's been letting the team down in that area, Ramsey. So um, the other two, we know what they are. There's strong, hard running, very physical, good all round game forward and going back. So they're they're very talented players. Ramsey's a little bit more of a different, a bit more finesse, a bit of height, but he's more a finesse and likes to go forward a bit more than the others. But yeah, from what I've seen Newcastle players, he's the one that not really been performing as well in that midfield. So yeah, look, it's gonna be one of those games that, like I said, I think possession wise, I think it'll be very even. So I think it's gonna be a lot of play in that midfield area, losing that ball in the midfield area from both teams, I think. And every now and then they'll go out wide, but I think that ball's gonna be in that central area quite a lot. So um, with Gusto there, like I said, he's not good at keeping the ball. That's one thing he's not good at. He moves it quickly. Like Jay said, gets into space, creates space, but he doesn't hold the ball. So then that just puts the other two under pressure, especially if they're three midfielders there around as well. Yes, Gusto makes some good runs and, opens up spaces, but they don't really trust Gusto to put ball forward to him because he doesn't, they don't really trust him in that sense as much. So yeah, I think it's going to be very much a lot of possession in that central area of both sides losing the ball and then regaining it back and then losing the ball and regaining it back. And I think if you look at the heat map from last year's game as well, when we played them, it was very, very similar to that as well. The ball was central most of the time, even though we've both got wingers, but the ball's always stayed a lot more central because of that reason. So hopefully Maresca's looked at that, how to try to get away from that congestion in that area, because that's where they like to play Newcastle as well. They like to come through that middle with those players, pressing them going forward, then getting it out wide. But even their wingers like to make diagonal runs and come inside as well. So yeah, look, hopefully Maresca's found the right solution and the boys follow the plan, because Maresca will have a plan for that midfield because he's played him now a bit. He knows what they're about. So it'll be interesting to see. It's quite a tactical battle when you come up against midfields like that.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Jay, I'll come to you in a bit. Let's see. Kalito, more importantly, thank you for joining the conversation. What else do we have here in the chat that I need to address? A lot of comments. Kalito, I know you don't like Enzo, you don't like Chalobah, but both players, you could argue, they've shocked you. I think Chalobah have shocked you the most, in my opinion, even though you still persist with your dislike of the player. not the individual, I have to say. We're just having a conversation here. Enzo, and by the way, we're looking to start, you can say, an excellent collaboration with Kalitos podcast. But time hasn't allowed that to kick off yet. Enzo maybe mentioned that he is better than Herflick, Matt, Odegaard in midfield. Enzo is an excellent player, and I think a lot of people know that. Let's see, it wouldn't be easy game today if we are defensively on it with no silly mistakes when we get it, when we get a chance to take it. Also, no red cards, please, today. Yeah, last time we were the better side, even with a man down. But yeah, of course, it's not easy to play with a man down. I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come back to you, Jay. Your thoughts? Yeah, go ahead. The midfield, how we compare, and who do you think wins the battle today?
Um, I think the team has been set by Maresca. He's mentioned the physicality part in the press, and I am also keeping quite serious attention to that part. And I think we need to control the initial minutes. It's always a bit chaotic, and even if it's in their control, and that would be understood because obviously the home crowd vibe, but still we will need that they do not score in the initial 10-15 minutes because that will be hard part for sure. I think they will be up for it in the starting minutes, and we have a tendency to start slow, but I think if we control the initial minutes, we don't concede, then I think uh, we can set uh, our foot for the match, and we can maybe score one or two. I want us to really kill the game early if we are going to score, because if 1-1 score line still going into the 90th or 85th minute, I think that's scary. The crowd is going to kill us, and I'm pretty much sure that we are not going to, help ourselves in those last few minutes. So it will be good if we get a 2 goal cushion going into the last 10 minutes. Important thing is, well, I saw their lineup. I think Joe Linton is missing. I know he's not in the best form this season, but he always turns up for Chelsea. He always scores against us. So it's good thing that he's not starting. He's on the bench. And also Howie Barnes, I think, is on the bench. We talked about him. He has been scoring goals as well, but he is somehow on the bench, which is a good thing because he is also one of those players that scares me. I think the midfield of Caicedo and Caicedo and James should be on point because a lot of the battles will be fought in that midfield against the physically strong and tall guys of Newcastle. So yeah, we should also not give Tonali a lot of time on the ball because he's one of those players who really set the tempo of the game for Newcastle. So
And he
yes,
can
these are
also
some of
get
the
goals from outside the box, even
yeah,
Gutierrez too. Go
do
ahead.
not give them space at all. Do not give them the chance to shoot. That's also one key thing, which I hope that one of Caicedo or James will be on point.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the
And Gusto. Yeah.
main things Maresca will be well aware of, that their ability to get goals from outside the box. Yeah, but let's say Dante, you wanted to say something.
And Gusto will be there. They're pretty much a 4-3-3. So, I mean, when Gusto, is going to invert from that, I think Cucurella is probably the one that's going to actually stay back this game. I think he'll be in the back three. Gusto will go into that midfield / a little bit higher up if he can. But I think I don't see Augusto staying as a right centre back, so I think he'll definitely be Cucurella in this game. We won't see him. Well, not at the moment. If we're behind, maybe, but not at 0-0. I won't see him go up too much. So yeah, he will have a probably defensive duty on that. Keep the right winger occupied. So yeah, look, Gusto will form that 3-man more midfield, and that's how that will match up. It'll be more of a 3 in that midfield instead of like we have Enzo. Enzo would push up as another 10. Well, Gusto is not going to do that from right back. He's not going to push up into the 10 from right back as much. He'll be more pushing up into that midfield, and we haven't really seen James either. Will we see Caicedo this game maybe go a bit more forward? He's got fresh legs. We'll wait and see, but every time I've seen those three together on the field, they've all created more of a 3-man sort of midfield, a little bit in between the lines, but not an extra 10. It's very rare that Gusto goes up and then goes into a 10. It's, he does it maybe when he plays that 2 or 3 times in the game, but that's it, hardly, and that's against lesser opposition mostly. So yeah, it's more of a free man midfield, and I think, like you said, you're putting that wall up as well against their counter attack, and for them, because they like to shoot from distance, like Jay said as well. So that really helps with that as well. You're not giving that space for them to set up and to break quickly into that area, because Gusto is going to be there as well, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting game, and for context, I think it's important that we look at what the numbers tell us. I don't know if I use the I want to use the comparison window here. Let's see. And by the way, you guys were here when I run the Juju predictor. The Juju predictor, for reasons I don't want to start reading again, says that Chelsea are definitely winning by 2-0. The loss of Isaac, a huge factor, and I agree. As good as Waterman, you would argue that he's been, the truth remains that it's. I think that has led in dropping quality for them. We press better. We're physically slightly better. It's up. Do you believe that, Dante?
Like I said, they've changed a little bit.
So that changes a lot, and I believe this. Yeah, physicality
with
wise.
Wissa
Go
coming
ahead.
in, Voltemad coming in. He's a big guy. He's tall, but he's not that. He's still young. He's not that strong. As in, he's not too physical. He's not hard to push off the ball. He's not a physical type of guy. So even like I said, Ramsey that came in as well, the same. So they lost a little bit there because of that, but that's this season. So yeah, and depends which player's playing as well.
I mean, yeah, it's believable because we do know how to be physical if we want to be. This says pressing, we press better. I think I agree. Goals, yeah, we do have a lot more goals. So look at that in a bit. Attacking, we're more attacking the possession. Yeah, quite of course. Counters, a lot more, not a lot more, slightly edge them in that metric. Defending, we defend better. You could argue that probably takes into account the fact they have some of their best defenders out.
That's where they're injured. Yeah, that's
So in terms of goals, we have 27. They have 21. They've conceded 20. We've conceded 15 clean sheets. We've kept the most clean sheets in the competition. I learned that the other day, actually. And you could argue down to the manager's approach. Even as we struggle with that, again, we see the struggles we're facing, experiencing maybe in our defensive line. Numbers still show that we're actually being solid defensively, but you could argue down to the manager's approach. The defensive aspect of our game starts in the attacking area, not just the back 3 or back 4. We have 8 wins, they have 6. 4 draws, they have 4. 4 losses, they have 6 losses. Points, 28 points to theirs, 22. Houston, and something else I want to say again. In our last 5 games, they beat us 2-0 both. This is correct, right? Yeah. 2 losses, 1 EFL Cup, 1 Premier League. But before that, 1 was a draw, and we beat them 3-2, and we beat them 2-1. I think we need to get this to start displaying where the games are played. But I think the app is actually getting better, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, once again, I have to say something that I've said before, that irrespective of what the numbers say, the game is played over 90 minutes plus added time. It's not a given that we'll beat them, even though statistically, if you compare the numbers like we're going to do with the Juju predictor here, it says Chelsea will beat them 2-0. If that changes, I'll be shocked. I don't think anything have changed. It's still 2-0. Chelsea travel with confidence from form suggests they will return without 3 points, and all the factors
That
considered.
Juju is very biased, coach.
It's not. I
You
think
can press him
I've run
100
it.
times, he'll say Chelsea win every time.
Listen. No, I don't think so. I think if we get to Man City game, given what the numbers will be telling us at the time, will most likely tell us that Man City will win. Here's the thing: I did take those things into consideration. No bias. Look at the factors he measured. He is mentioning here. What team are attacking there? You say potency reduces by 35% because he's not Isaac. As good as it's been for them, they have some of their best defensive players out. and Copama is back, fit and firing. A Chelsea talisman ready to unlock defenses and all that. I think it makes sense. At some point he used the wrong data. I think last season's data and wrong time of the season, and he predicted they were going to beat us 2-1. But because I've seen the numbers myself, I realized that doesn't seem right. Not necessarily, not because I'm a Chelsea fan. I paid attention to the numbers, and yeah, we made sure it is speaking the correct data. Then he predicted, yeah, a 2-0 win. But that's not to say that we're definitely going to beat them 2-0. But bear in mind, the game is played over 90 minutes plus added time. So uh, the game isn't played on paper, for to be more specific there. But that's by the way, and keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We're planning to change. What's that? To change the login process. We're trying to remove Google entirely and keep working on the approval, or what's it called? Um, Behind the scenes until Google approves it, and not be showing people something that will scare them. But yeah, that's why. And for you to not get that message, we have to add you manually as one of the testers of the application before you don't get the message that will get you concerned that maybe this trying to steal your information. I think it will lead to a lot of people not going through with the sign up process. Yes, Dan Burn is a big miss for them. Who else? Garnacho turning up. I think he will turn up. His progress has been consistent. I'd have to say, even though before that game against Cardiff, he had a game that
Coach,
he could have scored 3 goals but didn't
coach,
score any. Even one that he did all the work,
coach,
intercepted a pass intended for the
coach,
goalkeeper. I think one that the goalkeeper intended, or vice versa, but didn't put it away. But on the
coach,
day, I was happy. I took positives from the fact that yeah, he popped
coach,
up in the right places, just didn't do enough to put the ball in the back
coach,
of the net. So I would say, yeah, I think he will turn up.
coach,
Yeah,
coach.
yeah.
The
Go ahead, Bobby. Let's
jury,
hear you. You're
the
entitled to your
jury,
opinion.
look, the jury's still out. I'm always very, very weary of wingers that only need there to be space in behind to be able to look good. In this modern day and age, at this level, you have to be able to create your own space. And he not only lacks the physicality, but he is a player that can be crowded out. That's why I rate Tyreek George higher. Tyreek is a developing player as well and has his shortcomings. But at least from time to time, you will see Tyreek George create his own space and score goals, long ranges, and things like that.
How many this
But
season? Let's be honest. Let's
how
get
much
into it, Bobby. Go ahead. Yeah.
how much time has he had on the field
And how
in
much time has
comparison?
Garnacho had too?
Well,
Which
Garnacho's
means
had
the times
far
he's had the
more than
opportunity, he hasn't performed at the
George.
level where he deserves to be starting over
Yeah,
Garnacho.
but
But we're having
Bobby
a
Garnacho's
conversation.
been
Go ahead,
scoring
Bobby.
double-digit goals, 15 goals for Man
Yeah, go
United.
ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
I've not seen that. You
No,
know,
go ahead. Go ahead. We're having a conversation here. Go
he's
ahead.
lightweight, and today we will see. I like this sort of opposition because today there's no hiding place for him, and they will not give him space that he craves. If he can do it today, I'll be the first to come out and say, "Hey, well done,"
No, I give you
and put
credit
my
for
hands
that.
up.
Yeah.
I dissed you, and you proved me wrong. I want players that I don't think are any good to disprove me because it means they're doing well for Chelsea. So I don't say this with any specific negative agenda. I say it based on pure
No, I understand. I
observation.
understand you, Bobby. Go ahead.
Yeah, just pure observation. And that's my observation. Now, is he able to to rise above it? I truly hope so. But right now, I don't see it, and he has to make me see it. I give references to KDH, who I watched live, and he was the absolute disaster. Then, as the season went on, and I believe he got fitter, because clearly his injuries and his match fitness needed time. He proved me wrong, such that when he was going, I didn't want him to go. And I still miss him today because I think a lot of the number 10 situations that we've had, he would have been an answer to. But, he wants to go and play game in, game out. So fine. I remember, I keep going back now, but this is some time back when we were going for a then 36-year-old um,
Silva.
Thiago Silva. I was angry. I thought this washed up guy is going to come here, you know, feed his ego a bit, run around a bit, and just end up having the Premier League being too much for him. I hate the idea of players that have given everything they have to other clubs and come here just to sun themselves. He proved me wrong. His first game, he almost proved me right. But after that West Bromwich Albion game, but after that he proved me wrong, and I was more than happy. Thiago Silva left us as an absolute legend. So I'm not looking for players not to rise above the parapet.
But
Um,
I know that. That's why it's
yeah.
a two-way thing. You present
However,
your opinion. I present my
yeah,
counter opinion, and
I
we
know
have
we're
good
talking.
chemistry here. We don't fight. So
I
no.
I
Go
know
ahead,
we're
bro. Go
talking.
ahead.
We don't need to
Yeah,
justify.
go
I mean,
ahead.
we've
Yeah.
been on this for years, coach. So those are the players that I have said, challenged, and I put my hands up, and they proved themselves. However, there are many of those, perhaps even more so, that I have challenged, and they proved me absolutely right in their inabilities. So I'm hoping Garnacho is not one of those. But today is going to be a good test in my eyes for him because boy has he got to step up to the plate, and no better place than an away day in a hostile St James's Park against a physical team, all of whom the players will be bigger than him. He's got to do some football today, and I hope he does. I really do.
Yeah.
I
Thank you so much for that. Jay, you want to add to that?
Yeah,
Because
I
yeah,
think
yeah. Go
I
ahead.
think I think there is some truth to what Bob is saying. I think overall he has been decent. I think he has some good performances, and the numbers speak for itself that he is actually having a decent season for us and much better than what a lot of people expected, including me. But there is some truth to what he's saying that he needs to perform in the bigger matches or the bigger occasions. I think that is one aspect or one situation that we are still to explore about him. He got some space against some of the side, but I think that is also a factor that is given against such side. Now these are the big matches, Newcastle away, and you will have more such matches. I think there were a few in the previous months as well, but he wasn't really, top of his level on those occasions. But I think this one, and so there will be more matches like this, and this is the one after a great Cardiff performance. I think this is where he can really solidify that question that a lot of people have, and kind of prove those questions wrong, including me. I think he need to perform in big matches, and then we can wholeheartedly say that he is actually, uh, actually an improvement on what we used to have on that left hand side.
Yes, yeah. Here's the thing I want to say quickly. The fact that he didn't have a preseason with us, did he? And I missed it. Did
No, he
he?
didn't. No.
I think that's a factor to consider too. So even at that, I think he's done relatively well. I don't want to start comparing him with any of our ex players or previous players or former players, whatever language you prefer. I think it's only fair that we consider the fact he didn't have a preseason. He's coming done as well as he's done. How many goals now? 4 goals, right?
Yeah, I think he's got
Yep.
6 GA.
Yeah, but Ferguson, that's not easy, and he's not started consistently. Really, he's created a few chances that had we been clinical in front of goal, he'd have twice as many goals as he has right now.
But you're also agreeing that he needs to perform better in the bigger matches, right?
Yeah, and I know him to be a big game player. I'm not concerned, really.
He
I
hasn't
think,
played that
yeah,
many, to be
yeah,
fair,
and
because
he hasn't
like
played
you
that
said,
many
Jay,
big games to
earlier,
say, yeah.
Neto played on that left, and then Esteval played in some of those games as well. So, like I said, he didn't have a preseason, so he started a little bit late, started a bit from. But yes, of course, this is a good chance today as well. But so you agree with Bobby that Tyreek George should start over him, Jay, or
No, no, no. That's
oh,
what I said. That some aspect of what Bobby said, I am agreeing, and that's what I explained. That this occasion, we are all looking forward to it because this is the type of matches where he needs to prove. I still have doubts, and he needs to prove me wrong that he is, made up for this big occasion where he can help us. That's all.
yep,
Yeah, but yeah, I think he's done well, considering the fact they didn't have a preseason with us, and what we've heard from the manager that he stays behind to continue working to improve. And I've said this before, even before he scored those goals he scored for us. I've said that he's looked more selfless than he was at United. I think at United he had that kind of what you could call the main guy or wanting to be the main guy issue at United, but at Chelsea, surrounded by a lot of players. Some you could argue it'd be accurate to say that are better than him, or he needs to prove that he's better than them and all that. That's a factor too that must have led to him improving his game. I think he will come good. He's a big game player. I followed him long enough to know that that's the case. And the fact that I was one of those, I think at some point I didn't want the club to sign him. I realized I was making a mistake because there was no justification to me saying don't sign Garnacho, even though I knew at the time he was a good player. Yeah, but because it's easy to just join campaigns on social media and not pay attention to what you're doing. But that's by the
I'll
way.
be back in 5 minutes or less.
Okay, numbers show he's done well. And that do you expect to see any changes during the game?
like I said a bit earlier, we'll probably see Enzo for Palmer. Most likely, we'll see that. It's still a pretty close game either way. We'll probably see that. If we're far ahead or ahead, 2-3 goals, maybe might see Andre Santos in that position then because it's a bit deeper. Just see the game out. Um, obviously the wingers, you'll probably have Garnacho coming off probably for Gittens as well, maybe something like that. Yeah, look, not too many changes to be honest. I don't see too many. Maybe I don't see him changing that back pair. Unless there's an injury or something. I don't really see too many changes in this game. I don't think he's gonna really use his subs. I don't see him using all his substitutes in this game. That's for sure. I think he'll make probably 3 substitutes max, and that's probably it. I think he usually doesn't sub all his in these type of games. He doesn't use his 5 subs usually.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm trying to take care of something.
Like if the
I
lap
think
was
we,
available, or that maybe the lap for João Pedro, etc. But he's not. Again,
Yeah.
if we're up, Guy maybe for João Pedro might see that, but Guy's not coming on if we need goals. I don't see him coming on. So if the game's still close, I don't really see him coming on, to be honest. So that's what I mean. I don't expect more than 3 changes max, in my opinion. Like I said, probably the winger. Then you'll probably see one of those midfielders. Maybe a third, but I'm not quite sure who a third would be, to be honest. So, um, yeah, I think he'll stick to this. He'll stick pretty tight with this group. They had a break. They didn't play pretty much none of them, so they're all pretty fresh. So I think he'll trust these core players. He won't want to introduce too much and mix it up too much, even later.
Yeah, I also expect very few changes in this match. I think if there are a few, it could be related to the match. I think it will be dependent on the situation of the match. Palmer is an obvious one, which is definitely going to happen, I think. Other than that, I don't think there is any need to change. It's a big match, and we haven't got any match coming for 7 days. So I don't think there is any requirement of resting a few players early on or anything like that. So I think it will be one or two max, obviously depending on the match. But if everything goes right, then max two, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and so far, Mod Mana, a good experiment. It has some character that I like. It almost started a fight, but I think He nearly told someone, "Shut up." Garnacho is 19, but Garnacho is 21, really. But it's using an old dead as I'm trying to.
Yeah, even the language is interesting.
Yeah, the language. I wanted it to have character, so it feels natural. But I think it's overdoing it. It nearly said, "Shut up, man." It's 19.
Allow it
Ganato
shine.
has much better work rate
Nice.
than Sancho. Absolutely, you could say much. You could say. I think I would take him over Garnacho anytime, any day. I would take Garnacho over Sancho anytime, any day. It depends on what I need, though. One is a much better dribbler, in my opinion. But Garnacho, he can create a lot more. He can also score because spectaculars, in my opinion. But that's by the way. Let's see. Estevao, Cole, Neto, Jao, striker, and Estevao isn't going to play today. He's injured. What was the question I was going to ask? But I was busy making adjustment to the AI police. What was the question I was going to make today? Um, my gosh, how could I have forgotten? But if you have any comments in the chat, any questions, drop it in the chat. We'll try to address it. We have about 20 minutes or so, or less than 20 minutes around us, so we can go watch the show. Give me 1 second here.
There is one little thing to bring up, and that is Gittens is not in the squad, so he didn't make the squad for some reason.
So what do you think is the case?
So Gittens is not there, so that's who's come in for him. Buonanotte is coming for him, I think.
I'm sorry. What man I just told someone? What are you on about, bro? Leave me alone, guy. I think I'm gonna leave it. I'll just educate people that that's the machine, but I'll try to get to be reduce the yeah. Thank it. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so Tyreek George is not there, and neither is Gittens. So Buonanotte has come in into that area, and Gio, of course, is coming to that. So yeah, no real. We don't really have those wingers to really come in off the bench. So I think
Yeah, you think it's for footballing reasons? Do we have like enough people, uh, players on the bench that you say probably the manager decide he's not been working hard enough and leaves him out?
This this has
Because
to
look at
be
the number
injury,
of
right?
players we have here on the bench. Mark Gui, Facundo Bernanote, Enzo Fernandez, Andrea Santos, Tosin Adarabioyo, Josh Achenberg, Yora Hato, Benwa Batashile, Philip Jorgensen. Not too many attacking players.
no,
Yeah.
no. So no
I I
Gittens, like
s-
I said,
I,
no Gittens
I
or
suspect an
Tyreek
injury.
George.
I do suspect an injury to Gittins because I find it as amusing that he's not even on the bench.
Probably it might be sick. Who knows? Can be anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
felt
something related to
something
health.
like we had before. Yeah. So yeah. So we don't really have no winger to actually bring on. We have no wingers to bring on.
So
So we've only
definitely
got
an injury issue.
yeah.
Because it just wouldn't make sense, irrespective of whether he's working well or not, to leave him out and accommodate more defensive players. You could argue.
Yeah, yeah. I would have liked to see one of the youngsters maybe get a go from the academy, but obviously that hasn't happened. But it's good to have at least one winger on there. But yeah, it looks like Garnacho Neto will have their work cut out in this game, and João Pedro, but especially the wingers, I don't see them getting subbed off, to be honest.
Yeah, and truthfully, our bench is weak. Just like keep the blue flag flying high has said. I think right now today our bench is weak. It's strong, but not from an offensive perspective. Definitely from an
Offensively, very
attack
weak.
defensive perspective. Go ahead. Sorry, I can't speak.
Yeah, yeah, offensive is weak, definitely. With no wingers, in a winger-based system, yes, it's very weak when there's no one there. That's what I would have liked to see one of the youngsters, maybe from the academy, a pure winger up there, just to have that option. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, and what should Mabas, can you leave Mod Manor alone? Don't smoke the quota we have. Plus, we're still testing it from another window. If you call on it too much, Google could just cut it off. Something else I wanted us to talk about is what's his name is uh Mark Gee. as big as you could argue, the one of the main reasons why when you expect to see him, even if we're winning, sometimes you don't see him on the pitch. What is his biggest problem, Dante?
Biggest problem
Not maybe
is
not a problem. You could say it's a profile thing and his
it's
overall application on the
yeah.
pitch.
Yeah, look, he's a very hard worker, very hard pressing, but I think he does that too much, and that takes away when he does. Then when he has to get into positions to actually, like a striker would, from balls coming from out wide or even from centrally, he lacks that awareness to get in, to make runs and get in those positions. He works so hard defensively and chasing around, but I think he overdoes it quite a lot. Young players like that, usually they do that, yes. Um, it's good to have that, but he hasn't. I haven't seen him actually shake that off yet. I think he still struggles with that. Every time he starts, he's going to be during half the game, even by halftime, and we've seen him every time do that. Usually come off at halftime when he started. No, no actual contribution much up forward, anything either, uh, because of it. So yeah, look, he's a good player to have for now on the bench. If you want to take, you're up and you bring him on the last 15, 20 minutes, it's perfect. And that's when he's done his best, looked his best. And that's why a lot of fans want him to start more games. But you've seen what he does when he does start, he struggles a lot with it because he's not really balancing that too well, in my opinion. I'm sure the coaches have told him, but that's his game. That's how he plays. A lot of times I've seen him, sometimes he get into position when he needs to shoot. He's so gassed, he can't even shoot properly, or because he's so breathing so heavily. That takes a bit of time to, he's got
Improve.
that in him. He just loves to run and loves to, gives too many, what we used to call I can't say that online actually. We had a word for it. But anyway, he's one of those players that, basically waste everything in the moment. And
Yeah.
when
All
the
right. Let's
real
see.
moments come and he needs
Go
to
ahead.
be
Sorry.
clinical, he can't do it, both mentally
Yeah.
and shooting, and because you got to use your mind and your body, and it doesn't click because he's very, very, he's pretty worn out most of the time. If you watch him when he misses a shot, or you see him shoot and then he completely mishits it or goes left, or I've seen him twice completely miss the ball a couple of times last season. Yeah, he just hasn't got that under control. He's too erratic. He's just too erratic, and it's not working. The IQ with the feet is not matching up, and that's what happens when you're fatigued.
Interesting. I'll come
I
to you in a
think
bit. Let's catch up with a bit of what we have in the chat. I'll skip quite a lot. As much as I like to interact with you, let's see. Livermanto and Hall, as much as I like to interact with you, sorry, my mind is everywhere. Yeah, I can't read everything you have in the chat, really. I highly rate them. Cobham does produce great footballers, and that hasn't changed. If anything, yeah, we're producing a lot more right now. I think Nacho would do dope for Chelsea. What I like about him is he only wanted us. Good luck to him. Yeah, he wanted us and also alone. Who was here on the panel arguing that we were the only one interested? I think it was I can't remember Wira or who. Garnacho is 21. Yeah, the fight, slug it out with him. Yeah, I've added something to make sure each cross checks the information he produces. One like at a time, be part of the squad. Let's get the likes up. 22 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. A big up to you, to the Chelsea family. Hopefully, we play well and get those
Okay,
3
I'm back,
points. Keep the
coach.
blue flag flying high according to Fundamentally Blue. Go ahead, Bobby. You were saying something.
No, I was just letting you know I'm back.
Oh, okay. Jay, let's hear your thoughts. McGee, what is his biggest issue? I'd say his overall on the ball ability. His off the ball ability, his presence is something the manager cherishes, but probably needs a lot more from him in terms of his ability to drop deep, participate in the play, and create for his teammates. But let's hear you, Jay.
look, not much. I don't really have anything to deny whatever Dante said, but I'll say that almost all the things that he said is something that you will associate to a 19-year-old striker. I think it's all down to his age. Most of the things are down to his age. He is going to learn more things growing up, and that's the uh, part of development of a striker. And I think there's nothing fundamentally wrong with him. I think this is all part of his learning curve. And at 19 years of age, I don't really expect a lot from such guys. The calculations, keeping things in your mind about how to conserve your energy throughout the 90 minutes and when to really accelerate and when to preserve it. I think these are all the things that he will learn more with the practice and teachings from the different coaches throughout his career. So at 19 years old, I don't really have any much issues with him. I mean, nothing to really worry about. But yeah, obviously, it's all down to his age, and that's the truth. We have to accept it. And as Dante said, I think the best thing for him would be, and for the fans to also accept, is that he is good from the bench for the last 15-20 minutes, and that's where his best can. That's where we can see his best. And when he will start as we demand it, then we will see stinkers like the one we saw against Cardiff. So yeah, nothing really to add more to it.
Yeah, I agree. I hope he gets better, but I think I've seen some players who I had hopes that they become even better players. It didn't happen, but in this case, I hope he does. Because that's the thing. Usually, something you can say I've observed is that when young players become part of a senior, because a senior side of any club, usually they don't have that space to focus on development. They you can say they become part of a group with pressure to perform week in week out. And in some cases, the managers don't pay attention to the players' development. They just want the players to perform at the highest level. Your thoughts on that, Dante?
Yeah, coach. Look, he's 19, but let's not forget he's come up through a very good academy. He's played quite a bit there, so he shouldn't really have this in my personal opinion, he shouldn't have this in his game anymore. I think he should know much better by now. But like I said, you need to have the IQ and the rest. So maybe that part is lacking a little bit. Look, I don't see him being at Chelsea next season. I just don't see him being with us next season at all, to be
It just
honest. So
doesn't make sense for multitude of reasons. Emera coming
yeah,
in, there's still Liam Delap, there's João Pedro. Even if you don't think he's a number 9, he plays there. He can fulfill the role, and you could say if he plays at number 9, he fulfills the role in a manner that the manager prefers. It's more like a hybrid number 9 than a traditional number 9. But go ahead.
yeah. Well, look, we'll have Omega coming in as well, and I think we've got some other young academy players that can step up and do that. I don't see him with Chelsea next season. I think he'll probably still be at the club, but it might be a loan somewhere. Uh, but yeah, don't be surprised if he gets sold either. I would not be surprised if that happens either. So, but most likely, I think it'll be a loan. Um, yeah, look, he's 19, but he should have known that by now. At a lower level, that the way he plays, the work rate, the running at a lower level, that gets you to the next level. But then when you get to that higher level, you can't be playing that same style. You don't stand out anymore. You actually go the other way. You regress. You don't look as good. So um, I just don't think he's quite got that across that yet. Yes, some players develop later, so he's still young. Yes, he can develop that later, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think we would have. I don't think we'd have that patience. Like you said, now even the squad, they train. They don't have quite that much time for him to be just concentrated on him. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's why a lot of these players, it's good for them to go out on loan and play somewhere else at a
where
lower
they
level.
get to play, irrespective of whether they're polished or not, because the club
Correct.
unable to avoid, you could say, hire better talents because given their financial situation or you
Yeah, and a lower level a bit, yeah, where he can actually shine a bit more and then work on his game. But yeah, he should have got rid of that by now, in my personal opinion. He should know that's not sustainable and you can't play like that. I haven't seen him one game start ever play good from the start. He just never has because of that. So, um, yeah, look, they'll give you time, we bought him for nothing money, much, but he will make us money. But I don't think they'll give you. We'll give him too much more time. I think next year, if he goes on loan and doesn't do it and doesn't improve that and gets the hang of it, I think the following you'll probably see him sold.
Yeah, I've got something to
Yeah,
add.
I don't go on.
Uh,
Bobby.
Sorry, a bit harsh, but that's the business, the reality of things, in
I,
my opinion.
I've seen a lot
Definitely
of
harsh. Definitely.
I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of youth football, especially at Chelsea. I've followed youth football at Chelsea. I've been involved with some of the players, the foster parenting of the players, where they needed places to stay when they were acclimatizing, getting settled, and so on. So I've seen some players, and I'm talking from experience, in terms of what they have managed to achieve.
Can you guys still hear? Okay, because I can't hear him.
We can still hear him. Yeah, Bobby. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Let him go ahead.
I don't think there's audio, coach. I don't think anyone can hear.
Can you hear Bobby?
Yeah, even you
No,
are
we
not
can.
audible,
Can
I
hear
think.
Bobby. They can't hear Coach, but everyone can hear Bobby.
And I can hear Dante. I can hear all of you.
Yeah, I can hear Bobby now. Go ahead.
Oh, right. Okay. What I was saying was that
Oh, well, go
when
ahead. Keep
I
going. Yeah.
when I think of Mark Gui, I think of Michael Owen. They're not exactly the same type of player, but back in the day, Michael Owen was playing Premier League football at the age of 16 for Liverpool and became an England international at just under 16, going on 17, and was in the World Cup by 17 and scoring goals. Now, he had two things to his game. I mentioned his speed and his finishing. Now, if I was anywhere near Mark Gui, I would tell him, look, you are good at hustling, closing down, and winning the ball in the final third, but your finishing lets you down. Now, you may say, oh, he's only 19, and
And how many
that
games he's
happens.
played?
Exactly, and there's truth to that. That is very true. But the problem is that when you're trying to break through at the highest level, which Chelsea is, and to be fair, which Barcelona was, where he came from, you've got to have that little extra to your game even before your time. And his
Exactly. Yeah.
finishing, yeah, his finishing is what is letting him down. And this is like simple chances. Um, you know, you can only get away with it for so long. I mean, even somebody like Nicholas Jackson couldn't get away with it infinitely, such that he's gone on loan to Munich, and they're not even trusting him for that same reason. So you make your onions as a striker by finishing your chances, and he has to work on that. If he doesn't, then he's just going to be another story of another player that tried to make it to the top but didn't.
Yeah, it is an unfortunate situation, but that's the most likely outcome we will see in a few months. Let's see. Yeah, it happens today. And let's see what else we have here. A big up, Wally Waldo. I do hope you're doing well. Always nice to see you. Thank you for joining the conversation. Happy birthday yesterday. Yeah, my gosh, you get that one. And Rich Money Makers. Week bench. I don't like games this early, especially for young teams. Yes, young team. And I'm fed up of this young team excuses. I will take point today. Very worried about today. Let's see what happens. And Ty's in the house. What's only stream? Waldo. Yep. Remind me of the song. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else? Okay. Saying hello to Ty. Newcastle fans are celebrating because we have weak bench. Yes, we have. That doesn't mean, look, we can still use that weak bench to still do something. I'm glad that they're happy we have a weak bench, but let's see how it ends. Gear is not going to be at Chelsea next season, sadly, because we won't have the time to nurture him and develop him. Unfortunately, it is what it is. When you are at a big club, you have to be an exceptional talent to get the chance week in, week out to continue development. If you don't, you're better off going out on loan. If you stay, you find it again, it'd be difficult for you to because they play enough to continue developing. Let's see what else do we have. Yeah, keep dropping all the best. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes will go a long way. We'll be rounding off in a minute or so. I don't think we'd have the time to get everything we have in the chat. All the best to winners. Yep, let's see what happens here. And Ty says we shouldn't be comparing one player to another to say, he came up through this academy, so it shouldn't be in his game still. That is a deductive reasoning which can be flawed. I agree. Let's see. From what I've seen so far, is the Chelsea board gives you 2-3 seasons to prove yourself, and if you don't, then you're gone. Did they even give up to 3 seasons? I'm not sure what to say. All right, people. I'm sorry I can't get everything you have in the chat. The chat was not hearing Bobby. Okay. Okay. What happened? Really? And Vic, go and watch the game. Yeah, I'm gonna leave in a bit. Anybody else has anything else to say, or should we call it a day? 2 minutes.
Game starting, coach. So yeah. What are they?
So thank you to Constantine Dante, the captain of the community, for joining me on the panel. Thank you for Jay, who was on the panel with me. Thank you to Bobby for finding the time to be here. Thank you to all of you in the chat. I can't mention everybody's name, but thank you to Ibro, my bro, IB. Thank you to Vic. Thank you to Mabasso5, Ty, all of you, Jay. If I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We long for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone says to bed, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soul. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit.